Advanced settings. Audio sharing settings include microphone and broadcast off.
Players away from the first placement threshold.
Get into the first full move circle here in a second. Circle 6 to 7, transitioning to the northwest. It'll be an interesting one, too. A number of players up on top of a hill. You see in the mini-map there, that left side based around the supply crate on the map. Holding the edit here. Motor trying to look out and see if there's anybody that might squeak out. He's looking back immediately behind him. I don't know if he realizes the player up above has an RPG. Oh, he does now. If he didn't before, surprise, there it is. A quick attempt, and the seal off, the close off of the edit there. Quick reset, well played from whoever that is inside.
Yeah, I just saw a nightmare situation where he had pushed out right after that for the shot and just accidentally stepped in front of the heavy sniper bullet. Now you can see that storm surge turning on right there. Motor more than fine, 502 above. Might regret popping that shadow zone since had a community launch pad placed right next to him, but he's...
Oh, I don't think he regrets it anymore. Honestly, Sundown, I think he's pretty happy about how that turned out. What a shot on rotation, a quick 180 in the combat to the dome, picks up an elim. Sundown's mouth is literally sitting open. You can't believe what he saw. That was ridiculous.
But one thing that players might not be aware of, he bunny hopped right there to get maximum distance. So what that is spamming your jump button right as you hit the ground to get a little bit of extra horizontal distance, and it carried him past the player. So he 180 and one hit him with the combat. That's what I talk about when, like, sometimes I feel like these guys are playing a different game than I am.
Oh,
yes, I know for a fact I can do all of those things.
That's not Fortnite. I don't know what that is, but that's not Fortnite. That's some craziness.
It's nuts. These guys pushing the envelope, but Mongrel, speaking of pushing the envelope, not going to pull a Mitro on the dual partner there, opens the door, gets over onto the side, and is desperately looking for every point he can. Doesn't want any interaction if he can avoid it. Will he find it? 2 HP? And he does! Motor gets taken down. 26 players remaining. Mongrel, that could have been your moment in the box. 2 HP. Erosi gets Aki. That's 2 more points going over for him. That could be huge. That could be it. And now Mongrel on the side of the zone, back up to 75 HP. What can he do with it? Will the siphon in the mats be enough? 70 materials on the side of the zone. 24 players left. Less than 5 minutes left in the queue times. If you want to go to New York City, you show up right now. And unfortunately, Mongrel is out. Let's see if he can get another queue as the rest of the match is now running. Provoked up on the high ground. You see Stompy, Martez also hanging out. Martez trying to take the high ground away, but SV Alman is up there as
it might be 3-4 meters, catches someone in the face with that combat shotgun. You look for any chance for a quick whip back, anybody moving in from the outside of the storm, because they're the ones that they're forced to move in. You can't sit out there, and so even if you have 3, 4, 5 feet ahead of them, you can look back and get a shot off and pick up an elimination. 40 seconds left on that European queue. Get in those games if you're going to try and get the last ones in. Quick edit, a peek through. Cubex gets tapped one time, very low. Now you have to remember there's a 60-second window after that damage where if storm damage maybe claims that player gets an elimination, it's going to count for provoked. Dropping in here, 8 players left. Quick swap, shot, back to back, and MQ goes down. Looking for another, players underneath on rotation. Quick edit down, a push in, finds another on the outside. One more, looks for another, gets it. Stompy gets another. 3 eliminations, the triple in the feed, and there's 3 players left. Provoke on the ultimate low ground right now. 1 mini pop, moves all the way to the edge, pops. First campfire down.
He's getting pressure from both sides now, and this is the top 3.
Oh.
Can't find the shot. It's aim. Cubex who gets it. That's 52 points for provoked. And again, each one of these elims, each one of them matters more when you're in these high points lobby. Martaz on the high ground, Cubex on the low ground, 39 to 49 points. Martaz wants to close this out. 27 builds to the 0 of Cubex, and that's going to be it. Martaz closes that one out. 43 points so far. Queue times are closed. The last matches will be coming in, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, that is it for the Qs out in Europe. You see how dramatic it can be in these final moments. We still have more games to bring you. We want to make sure you get caught up to speed on those exact last matches, but I know, Zeke, we've had some things you were taking a look at that you want to show everyone at home.
Yeah, man, let's do this. We've got some cool clips as we make our way into the station. Just some really fun clips that I wanted to take a moment to talk about. Wolfsies, of course, just had a dope flick shot. Look at that, over on Violin, and just absolutely incredible. This is the level of skill. And I just want to highlight his rifling skills and just the way he approaches this fight. He knows the players down below, no builds, and you can just see he's using that brick floor, just ducking behind, making sure it's absorbing as much damage as possible. Airwalks. This is someone for me that I truly believe and I want to see go to the World Cup Finals, especially with the last opportunity. Him and his duo partner Nikov have already qualified in duos, right? We even know his other teammates, Kinsar and Hunter, have also qualified. The difference is that Kinsar right now is the only member from Solar that's qualified for the solo format, and Airwalks is looking to do the same. We're going to watch this incredible spree. Just look at the way he's navigating all this density, right? His game sense and his awareness is on point. He's going to pick up 8 elimination total in this run. Now, unfortunately, he does not end up getting the Victory Royale, but just look at this. He's unbelievable. Once he gets going, it's very difficult for him, for anyone to stop him. Now, we're going to see his untimely demise here. He is going to go and try and challenge a player. He's going to pick them off, and he does get traded back out. Now, keep in mind, though, he did make top 5, so he still got the points from that. Now, Tolecito, we saw this incredible play. I thought this was incredible because he used the Flintlock to shut down Mexi up on the high ground. And then just look at the HP from everyone else. He has HP advantage. He's so confident. He's just going to dive down and try and go for the challenge. Even if the player had traded out, he would have been. Everyone's showing up big, making plays.
Insane right there to have the confidence to drop on down, redeploy. But guys, I'm not going to hold this up. We've got our final games from the European region. Who will make it to the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's find out.
Thank you so much, Courage. Also, just want to give a shout out real quick to the guy running the AR wall. Whoever picked the screen that was right there, the way the 2 lines lined up with the black floor. It looked, I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, that's a cool shot. So, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We'll give a bunch of love to the observers. Give him some love right there. Great screen. But now we're on board. Again, these are the absolute final matches. Queue times are done. We are in Europe. 8 spots up for grabs for the Fortnite World Cup Final. This is your last opportunity. If you are one of the best, you need to prove it right now, or you will not be on that stage. You won't be playing with Tfue, with X2 Jordan, with Stompy, and 6J trying to make a case for being there as he picks up Zegrin and then gets on his rotation.
Absolutely ridiculous. Between games there, while everybody was watching the quick replay analysis, Sundown and I were talking about the different regions and just how certain aspects of each region stand out, and I think it's unanimous agreement that Europe has some of the best technical Fortnite and some of the most aggressive play that I think we've ever seen, and it is so much fun to talk about and so much fun to watch because these players are playing on a level that I don't think you have to imagine back in the day when Fortnite was, it was the battle royale portion was in its, early days. No one imagined the game would get to this. You can't possibly have said, oh yeah, one day we're going to watch players, the technical skill and building and quickly editing and dropping in through floors and pushing walls and doing all these things, everything that they do. No one would have imagined it was going to come to this, the quick edits and push through Kai's and picking up the first Elam. It's things like this. You could not have told me this is what Fortnite was going to evolve into. And you have to admit, whether you love or hate the game, no matter what you think about it, how things have changed and grown is fantastic to see. People are really pushing the technical skill that I think Fortnite has to offer in a way that no one could have predicted.
I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and like I said, I've been able to be a part of the process from playtesting through all of this.
You've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I've never would have fathomed that players were doing this. I think one of the first things when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's good because you can be aggressive because you can like build at someone in your own cover. You don't just like hide behind a wall and stuff. And now it turns into, instead, these guys are building literal tunnels and mansions and skyscrapers in the span of 2 seconds. I think one of the plays we saw yesterday where the player one by one threw a trap down, edited a ramp, and shot all in the span of 0.2 seconds. So I'm like, all right, you're playing a different game than me. Yeah, right there. Sky taking away Yarkos' ceiling with a single shot, double replaces it, double edits down, and then pushes in the space of nearly a half second. He gets it 50, or I was about to say 57, but 60 points now as the top 15 does
literally just
take over. The player gets taken down, and Sky is creeping up into that qualification range. Again, top 8 players will go, and this is the last shot. How they earn the points: top 25 is 3, top 15 is 5, top 5 is 7, the Victory Royale is 10. Each Elam is 1, and Skype certainly knows that. He's been playing absurdly aggro. If he hits you, he wants to go.
You saw for just a second in there a quick attempt at maybe a heavy sniper shot, but he realized it wasn't loaded, opted back to try and push through the ramp instead. Very quick thinking on Skype's part, the swap out for the combat shotgun instead of the tac. Pretty common there, player looting inside, but Skype more focused on rotation and position, as placement points will be everything for a player that is this close to making it to New York City.
That was so good by him to go around the backside of that building so he could extend the shadow bomb timer up to now get up to the mid tarp. You have Light up on the high ground, 13 up Nay, now just dropping down on the tarp below Skite. So Skite is on secondary high, but he's boxed up right now. Light's going to begin to work top down, as we still have a number of ballers who are going to begin to get shot out as we head towards the second placement threshold. Kinzo gets taken down there, and Light continues to rain shots down onto these ballers, saying, hey, you got to play Fortnite with the rest of us. Burn your mask, get out of there. Top 15 is on the board. John22 on Twitch picks up Calzo. Uno OG goes down, and Light continues to check his top, make sure he's safe, and then rain shots down. Dalo gets taken out as we get closer and closer to the top 10.
12 players remaining. Light still ultimate high ground. Skype right underneath, and I believe I saw for a moment Benji Fishy was in this game, but it looks like he's been eliminated at this point. Kaizen on the ultimate low ground, going to have to take an opportunity to heal up if possible. 9 players left, and Light is looking for a peak shot on a player in rotation, trying to challenge potentially the high ground. The pyramid of the play underneath kind of signals to me maybe not pushing up just yet, and I think Light realizes that, taking a chance to look down at maybe other players in the move, and yeah, he sees another one. There's a scent of potentially elimination. Light getting challenged for high ground now.
It's Rapti. Rapti's going for it and then drops back down, realizing he's not going to be able to take it. Pops the shadow form and goes all the way down to the far side. We're nearing the top 5. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, look at the points next to the names. 56 on Light, 64 on Skype. This is for a trip to New York City, as Light is able to pick up 59 there. They want everything they can. 6 shades, he gets Rapti, but Skype trades it right back out and loops back into the zone. Skype on the edge of the mountain tries to find the jump pad, and he gets it going to the sky. Light trades out Miles on the top, so now 60 to 67 points, but Skype on 55 HP. Light pops the shadow bomb. What's he gonna do? Opts to drop down, so now Skype has to know he's down there. Skype has no mobility. Storm ticks it over. Light gets the Elam credit as well, and that's gonna push him up to 64 as well, so evens it up. We're getting down to the final moment.
Depending on where this was in their games played, we're looking at 64 and 67 players for Light and Skype respectively. That potentially could have been a prevention for Skype to make it to New York City, or pushing Light all the way close enough to qualify if he has a game left. People have to realize these end games, when you see players at those point counts fighting it out for the Victory Royale, it can mean the difference. We saw it, I think, last week in NA East, a team just literally fighting the last second, the very last match, and the fact that one team took the win is what put them in the placement to make the
It was week 6 duos, and it was RBK versus the Cooler Boys. The Cooler Boys ended up winning the 2v2 from the low ground, got the Victory Royale, and the 3-point difference from the Victory Royale, not even the Elims, was enough to deny the RBK Boys the spot. So when we talk about high impact eliminations, high impact engagements, and everyone mattering, when the queues are closed, these are the last matches on the server, so not exactly live, but about 5 to 10 minutes delayed, you are deciding your trips. You're deciding other people's fates, and these are the moments when you need to clutch up. We've talked about before, you don't have to be the best, but you need to be better than the person across from you. And when you're dealing with the best of the best in a trip to New York City, that's still got to be really good.
Yeah. That's why I'm here behind the desk and not at the game.
I mean, I'm so glad these guys are so good. They make our job so incredibly easy.
And like, so much fun.
If the gameplay was really difficult, it'd be hard, but it's so hype. You guys are so good. Just shout out again one time, hashtag Fortnite World Cup, to all of the players who have competed in the arena, in the tournaments, on Saturday, on Sunday. Thank you so much for doing this and making incredible plays and giving us this opportunity.
I do want to say, too, that one of the most common, I think, criticisms of competitive Fortnite is typically, the shots through, kills only, almost finding that elim, gets one big hit, can't quite find the second. Exotics does pick that elim up. I was going to say, one of the most common criticisms of competitive Fortnite is, everybody's sitting in 1-by-1s, not doing anything. You know, it's kind of slow play from time to time. I want them to pull this stream up and watch through these European games. Let us get to NA East and NA West and just how much pressure they apply at times. We literally just saw a player run out, push through a box with a heavy snipe and push inside and get an elimination, feeding into like window edits and shots through there with the combat shotgun. Competitive Fortnite, there's tension, there's action, there's pressure applied from every angle sometimes. You really have to dig in and watch long durations of this to see all the craziness that happens, because people are elevating the gameplay every time we watch it.
There's so many nuances, and I think the best part for me is every single day there's something new somebody is doing to push the envelope.
Yep.
There's always something somebody finds that is able to do. In every patch that comes out, somebody finds a new combination, or there's something that's slightly better. As Excite has now picked up 6 elims in this match. We've seen 3 of them.
Woo!
We've now seen 4 of them going to work with the legendary AR and the shadow bombs on the rotation, getting himself over to the sides of zones and then posting up and taking shots. You can notice, again, one thing, when you box up on an opponent's material, go over and up a grid space. You never want to be on the same level or one wall away from somebody else. Make them break 2 walls every single time, always.
You're asking to get pushed quickly if you land side by side, especially if you're about to force a fight for a wall. Sight looking for shots here on players in the rotation. A little bit ahead inside the circle. A rocket coming in a quick close. The close off the edit. Good reset there. He's going to catch it before it blows him up. Looking back behind. Player rotating the outside. He sees the silhouette. Watching for the shot. Takes it. Gets it. Voxy goes down up to 198 total HP and 8 eliminations. We'll get a top 15 here in one more player needs to go down. Sight the forefront of the storm now. Waiting his time. Trying to wait for that shadow bomb to tick out so we can box up.
This is an incredible game so far from Excite. With that pushing over, he's on a 13-point match right now. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Archer up on the high ground. You have Miko, Lars, Wallboom, Motor, and Zyflare all on the mid-tarp. Rest of the players on the low ground. You see Noodle Kongan just get ticked over from the storm there. Motor going to begin to work top down, sitting on 41 points. Gets the headshot, knows there's white damage there. Player in the box, sees him get eliminated, but he wants to continue moving forward. That was Maxa and Excite, who both just got picked up, and Motor is completely out of builds with no elims. He has to find something or has to find a way to drop down. Luckily, a player building on the tarp beneath sees the shadow bomb drop, and he's going to use the pine tree to not take fall damage. Find Go-Go's on the side, and also gets all of his mats and a med kit on 80 HP. That could be huge. You have the ability with the campfire, but he's dealing with such limited ammunition in terms of the small rounds. Wallboom goes down to Artur, and we get closer and closer to the final placement threshold before the victory royale. Motor opts to pop the campfire early. If he goes to full 100, this could end up being detrimental to him trying to medkit if we go to full heal. However, don't think that's going to happen with 90 seconds left. Antaret gets Miko, and we're into the top 5.
44 points right now for Motor. Pressure from above. Gonna have to box up and wait. See if anybody can make the move. Like you said, a big material pickup just moments ago for Motor, but not enough ammunition to make a difference. Artur on the ultimate high drops down and reconnects quickly. Very important move there. You see he places a couple surfaces and builds his way back up. Quick shotty shot. Anthrax trying to apply pressure. Player drops in, shots on the outside, gets Lars. Gonna have to rotate into the zone quickly as that storm is ticking for 10. 3 players left and pressure from underneath. Anthrax sitting on 2 builds, 15 bandages, but it's not gonna be enough to keep himself safe unless he picks up this elim. Maybe some materials. 2 big hits. Can't quite find the elimination. Gonna try and get ahead of the build. Shot from above. Pressure from the third party, and Motor picks up that elimination. A 1v1 heads-up situation. Motor at a huge disadvantage in the storm, ticking slowly, and Artur sitting on enough builds maybe to apply pressure. Down to 10 now, the drop in, and finds the elimination. Only 2, but it still gets the job done. A 12-point victory royale pushes Artur to 42 points thus far.
And again, don't forget, with the prize pool being doubled this week, even if you don't get one of those qualification spots there, the money is doubled in every single one of the placements. So each one of those interactions could be the difference in a little bit of a bigger paycheck. But now we're swinging right on board over towards one of the snowy biome areas in Happy Hamlet. 38 players in this match.
I think Happy Hamlet's worthless.
And what's it like? As in you don't like the drop spot,
No,
or
terrible.
as in like the town like shouldn't have ever been developed?
I think that they have outdated laws about leashing your dogs, and I also think that the loot positioning is poor. I do not like Happy Hamlet. If you agree with me, hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
All right, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What is your favorite solo drop spot? I know Lupo's is a not Happy Hamlet, so what's your favorite solo spot? What's your current solo drop spot?
My go-to typically is going to be, okay, so there's a little pirate camp in the southwest of Pressure Plant that before the volcano went off, that's where I was consistently dropping. Recently, though, because of the changes, I really like Valhalla. I like the dance club. If I'm dropping solos and I'm not going for, like, because there's a different play style.
Competitive, super serious, ultra World Cup qualifier where you're dropping solos.
I'll go Valhalla, and if that's contested, I'll fly past the Snobby.
Okay, cool.
I like that west side of the map, typically because it is not often challenged. You have so many opportunities for rotation. The only problem is, like, you have the rocket base that now is kind of decayed a little bit to the northeast of Snobby. You have Valhalla that's up there. That you have a lot of places where there's going to be people that can see down from above. But I mean, you also have a quad in there. You can quad fly your way back over the field. Tilted. What a back-to-back! That was 2 shots sequentially.
62 on the first guy for the body shot, finds the second player rotating and hits him with the headshot. We talk about the flint knock, efficiency in the right hand. Scoggin, the right hand's there, just wow, you talk about the pirate camp right there, going to work with the flint knock. I'm a big fan of that west side of the map too. I know the little kind of broken house between Viking Village and where Polar was that's down there has 3 chest spawns, and you can rotate away. There's mushrooms there. That's one of my drop spots.
Ice too. You can feed into Greasy if you want to. There's a lot of chances to move over there. I think the west side of the map right now is one of the best for solos.
I'm just upset. I lost the covered bridge down south in between Lucky down there. Has 2 spawns on itself, and then the pirate cannon that used to be there had 2 spawns, and then the house had a spawn. So there's 5 spawns that were all in the one spot, and then you move right into old factories. It was really good, but lost that one unfortunately. Now on board here with Styler CSC sitting on 42 points. You can see him trying to edit down the rest of the lobby.
Not sure about that shadow bomb.
He popped the shadow bomb like he was going to rotate. He saw the supply crate, and then like,
I think he thought about it for a second and said, you know what, I already used the shadow bomb. I don't want to make this, I don't want to feel like this goes to waste, so I'm just going to, instead, I'm going to push for the rotation.
But you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, that supply drop just goes completely to waste. There was no one there. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Martaz, Crippa, Waldo, Kisanth, Orc H, Fool, Bayonne, Mods, Blazin, so many players. Mexi over there in a baller rolling around. Talazito in there and still above storm damage. So if you are rolling around in the ball, you will be getting the ticks going there. Have to play aggression, have to play aggressive going through to turn that off, or just tag somebody.
Knocks in the feet a second ago, I believe, being eliminated by the storm. Looks like that threshold did get to him, down to 31 players. Need 1 more to go down before Storm Surge is no longer a factor. 94 above right now for Styler, taking quick peeks, maybe thinking I need to get a hit on somebody before it's too late. I'd say back-to-back hits is pretty good there. Picking up an Elim, pushing it to 30 remaining. 1 through the wall to the right. Quick shot, misses twice, but finds a third. Tart goes down, picking up the second Elim so far for Styler. 29 players left. We're 4 away from placement points. And this is so many people trying to rotate simultaneously through not even the ultimate low ground, but just kind of the mid is just full of people. Every single layer is a fresh tarp, and you have tons of new builds and a lot of metal coming up.
A lot of metal going through it, and you got to work through the old builds as Brism gets taken down and misses out on the placement point. So now on board here with Haibuzin as he makes his rotation. Mexi out of the baller, picks up Sabine. Ghosty gets taken down as well as Habusen. As he edits down, gets the shot, and then the tick over from the fall damage, I think?
No,
That player might have gone through.
I think that player that he shot actually survived. There was a storm.
Oh, it was the other player who went through. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, understood.
Full picking up an elimination with fall damage in your feet in the top. 4 elims right now. Habusen trying to push up through. Like I was saying, the player builds that are out there right now, so difficult to push through if they're metal. It requires so many more melee hits from your pickaxe to try and break. It's going to slow you down. You're going to take storm damage from it. It's going to put you in a worse position. You won't be able to get to the forefront of the storm while other players are trying to rotate. Next from Loot Boy, looking for a peek shot there to drop out of the box. Looks like a little bit of a delay there.
Just madness on that low ground. Everyone is down there as we're getting closer. Boom, there it is. Top 15 Styler does get taken down on that mid-tarp by Mods. Harvey gets squeezed in. Mexi gets taken down by Zealous. Bayon there. Brilliantly done. Topped out on the light ammo. Kripa gets full as Mods gets blazing, and we're into the top 10. Top 5 being left.
Drops Martaz in with the edit. Catches him on the move with the corner edit and a quick swap. Oh, man. Sorry. That was insanity. What a quick reaction there, man. Now at 2 eliminations. Only 24 builds, but G just picked up all that brick a second ago. He's digging through any materials he has left. Bodobon all the way in the high ground right now. A single layer across, but it doesn't really matter. No one's looking up, and he's got RPGs for days. Looks like he's going to look down from above and try and take shots.
Good pickup, some Kripa on this mid-tarp right now as Bothobon is going to work down. Bayon on the mid-tarp. Top 5 just happened as Habusen gets ticked over. Shadow, will he be able to pick it up? Bayon gets Shadow, though, on the turn. Can Bayon catch back up to the zone?
The ramp.
Kripa gets caught by Bothobon on the high ground. The single tarp strategy on the high ground. The one rocket he fires down for Elif and the victory out. He says you can take that out. 11 points coming out from Bothobon.
Well played there. Even just the single layer of brick, because there were so many layers of material below, that's actually really, really good thinking on his part as he's moving forward. He looks down and says, no one's going to challenge me. There's so much mass in the way that no one's looking up. I just need to keep this. I got to find a spot to connect it. And he dropped down and did that, that's a super common strategy, especially in duos. Typically, you have players that are one's applying pressure, taking shots at people, while the other drops down and reconnects the builds, and they swap roles back and forth. I think we see Tfue and Cloaksy do that all the time. If you watch the stream, it's super, super common.
Zay and Saf, another duo
100%.
that kind of I don't want to say like made that more prolific, but like watching their boss and
so
watching
smart.
him do it is kind of like, oh, here's the blueprint for how you go about doing this
Exactly.
correctly.
You're connecting the canopy of your build to structure that's already established underneath, because then if somebody shoots out what's way back in the storm, you're not going to run back and replace it. But now it doesn't matter because you have another branch connecting underneath.
That, and then you're
Very,
all
very
good. Well done from them there as we're on board here with Solari Airwalks. 49 players left, so just a tick under half of the lobby. Storm Circle 5 is closing, and we're also going to be rotating through pressure plant, so lots of geysers, lots of innate natural mobility, and a decent amount of mats and metal that can be reused, so it should be interesting to see what ends up happening here as we hop on board here with Train H's Alpha. Train H being the team Train Hard, hits the geyser and says, I'm going to zone.
There's players all the way up on the drone in the sky above. You see him Alpha on rotation, checking up above quickly. Going to layer up twice to stay away from the player underneath. You don't want to get dropped in on somebody else's structure. Replacing the ramp with a cone so you can get quick edits in whatever direction you need. I do want to make a quick statement. You see these kind of edits. He's looking for shots now, and then he'll quickly do a reset after he feels like he's shot for long enough. You don't want to get caught gargoyling, tunnel visioning on somebody where you're exposed and someone might take a shot. And there's a lot of players in front of him. He might not see them, but they're there. But what I was going to say is oftentimes we see players do like the window edit and then instantly reset so that they can get transparency through the metal or the brick. More often now I've been seeing players do a door instead of a window, because at this level, even that imagine you have 3, 4, 5 frames where there's a window open. Someone might sneak a snipe shot or rocket something in through the window, and you're gonna get punished. Door doesn't do that.
So close the door.
Well, yeah, you put the door in and it's still just a solid surface. So you prevent any opportunity for somebody to sneak a shot in. Yampi there, I was going to say, you might want to reset that window, speaking of.
Mongrel in the lobby, Crew in the lobby as well. You can see Mongrel currently sitting on 55 points. Last time we saw him, he was at that 50 mark, so down to it. You can also see Storm Surge, he's 98 damage above. He can't mess up. He has to get points here if he wants to be going.
You got to be thinking these players too when they're back.
Airwalks and Alpha Amons are both in the lobby. I apologize, but this place is stacked.
No, it's insane. You're right. I was going to say, players typically, too, at this level, that are watching the queue and watching the leaderboard, they're going to ready up, and then they're going to immediately go look to see where they are on the board as they go into the next game. Even sometimes they have a chance during when they're boxed up in here, they'll pull up the leaderboard if they can on the website, something like that, and see if they can find out just how many points they need to make in order to place. Does not surprise me that Mongrel's trying to play a little safer, pushing over the top of this campfire player underneath. Another one boxing up inside metal. A lot of layers here. An attempt to maybe get a little bit of an advantage here in terms of elevation, pushing forward, branching into the next circle.
Oh, Baller almost took out his build there, which could have been absolutely devastating. Would have dropped him down. No tarp beneath. 28 players remaining. Look for shots. He finds it.
There we go.
There you go. Leon Flares goes down. 26 players remaining. Wolfies gets picked up by Criff. Mongrel up to 56 points. Looking for it, and that's 59 now as he hits the top 25. Player directly next to him on the box, but trying to pop that. And Crew goes down as well. Was in the top 25, but that was the player who was in the second place last time we saw him. You have Windstrike Mayhem, who was within distance. Now you have Airwalks, the Solari player, at 53 points, trying to drop him down. RPG up on the high ground. It follows it right away. Suat gets swatted out of the sky, but Astro SMZ is also making his push for the top as he's picked up his third Elam since we've been watching. Mongo gets another one, picking up Romo as we get closer to the top 15. Airwalks getting some reloads into that combat shotgun, wants to make sure he has every tool available as we push down to the final fight. Airwalks up on the ultimate high ground. ETQ rounding around the storm. Mongo going to challenge on the mid tarp, and he gets Carrera, and he also gets into the top 15 as we slide on board with Train H's Alpha, puts the trap down, and he gets Astro. Astro knocked out. Could be his World Cup run over there.
26 points thus far for Alpha, but not a big deal. He's still putting on a good show. Shots back behind, finds another player. Cell caught in a box just outside. Rotating forward, 9 players remaining. Scalano goes down to fall damage to the feet. ETQ eliminated by that combat shotgun, so powerful in these close range fights. Alpha, 6 eliminations, looking for the 7th, pushing through, applying pressure through the wall, does not want the player inside to take the chance to get anything. Mongrel picks up another elimination, then immediately gets eliminated, goes out in 7th place, almost the top 5 for those points, only going to get 5 placement, could still be big enough to make his way to New York City. We will have to see before too long. Top 5 now. Alpha, 30 builds, a mini opportunity. Anything to heal right now is going to be big. You don't want to be caught by players that may have positioning, and Oldies does, in fact, have that positioning. A 1v1. Players are basically 1-2 boxes away from each other, and Oldies may take the chance to rotate up out of the storm. We'll see here, stuck against the edge. Airwalks, the ultimate high ground, just waiting. 97 builds for Oldies, but only 1 for Airwalks.
52 to 58 in points. This could end up being the difference. Oldies looks to go for it, and he gets the zone back from Airwalks. He takes away the zone, but Airwalks knocks him down. No fall damage coming through. Can Airwalks find the shot?
No build.
Oldies just keeping the zone in the area, and Oldies gets the victory royale, pushes him up to 55. Airwalks falls at 58 with no builds.
Imagine being Oldies knowing you just eliminated Airwalks from Solary, Mongrel from Secret. You've got to be feeling really good about that game. A big push for points, too. That was, like you said in the middle of it, a very, very stacked lobby. A lot of pressure, too, because you have so many players now in these games that we're showing you. You have to remember at home, the ones that we're trying to pick the ones that are best for affecting the leaderboard, because these are the plays that you need to see. This is Europe, by the way, if you're just tuning in. If you popped in a little late, we're trying to push our way through these games because there's so many things happening. But all these lobbies are going to be so intense because everyone is vying for those top 8 positions to qualify to go to New York City.
And that's what it's all about, getting a spot in the Fortnite World Cup final. This is week 9 of the online open qualifiers, the last chance in the solos competition. And if you want to sit on that stage, if you want to be playing with the best of the best, the Bizzles, the Vivids, the T-Fuse, the Dementos, all of those top players on the stage with FaxFox and Vanny, you have to clutch up right now in these final moments and against the best players, because if you're unfamiliar with how the tournament matchmaking works, it's 3 hours, 10 matches, and as you climb in points, you're matched with players close to you in that point range. So the matches only get more difficult, the players only get better, and these are the times, these are the fights you have to win if you want to be playing for your shot at the $30 million.
A quick note, too, if you're watching, this is the final game for Europe. Everything for these players to qualify for solos from New York City, to play for $30 million on a stage bigger than any stage Fortnite has ever seen. This is the last chance for Europe. There are a lot of fans out there of a lot of these players. Do me a favor. Go on Twitter. Tag your favorite players and show them some love. Keep the negativity out of this. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup, because Fortnite has done something that not many people ever thought would happen. They've put a focus on every player that has played out of their minds. And I want to be sure that all these people that have played, have qualified, have tried their heart out, they need to know that you're supporting the heck out of them. So again, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Please let your favorite players know that they've done an excellent job. Win or lose, doesn't matter how many eliminations. All these people have a lot of heart. It's important that they know that.
Indeed, a lot of heart coming out from all of these players. It's so incredibly hard to get.
I laugh as you say, but honestly, what a perfect name to see pop up. All that being said, no mercy this week.
Weigh-in picks up it. He says no mercy this week. Indeed, it's all about those last spots, trying to find the Shadow Bomb player as he rotates through, getting the shots going off here. And this is what it's all about. Storm Surge is on for 3 more players. Weigh-in pushing forward. Lacey Sher gets Bass and then gets traded out by Rasmussen. We have our top 30. So Storm Surge is off. First place in the threshold in 5 more players. Black Sue over there in the mid-tarp, going to hop on board with him, sitting on 46 points right now. Going to need a monstrous performance if he wants to top off. He's seen a number of players pushing up towards that 60 range. Don't forget, 8 spots coming out of Europe. Top 25, the first placement threshold, and Blacks is in a good spot to hit it with the 4 Shadow Bombs, using the first one now.
The stream's got to be feeling good about how their players are playing thus far. Black Sue and Skype both excellent thus far. Potentially see Vato at some point. We'll have to find out. 28 players, 26, 25. What a quick shift in player count. Points going out. 3 for everybody left on the board, down to 22 already. This rotation has been lethal for so many. Such a big shift, down to 21 now. Chip goes down, 20. Every time I feel like I say, we're about to see 19, there's another elimination. The Toxic Donut removed from the game. Black Suit pushing forward here, 2 eliminations. Don't want to get caught by someone boxing up, as we've seen so many times in the past. Trying to maybe land somewhere inside a box with a launch pad. Going to move forward with the Storm. Excellent position now. Has a chance to kind of wait and peek back behind. Someone is up above. He's got to be careful there. That edit going to jump up and move on through to the next section of this circle. Still not stopped. We're very close. You look at the mini-map, the blue and white cross over the circles. Once that happens, you know players are going to start boxing up and peeking back for sure. Back-to-back shots, back-to-back eliminations.
No, he only got one of them. Darrow got the other one. That
first.
could end up being huge. Like we said, every single one of these interactions mattering, but Blackso trying to push the envelope and get every elim anyway. Will he be able to find it? He hits the shot, gets the siphon onto Purge. All of a sudden, Blackso has single-handedly fragged his way into the top 5. 57 points, but we've seen more. He needs to keep pushing. This is the last match on the server. This is the top 5. Frenzy, Nate, Screaky, Masato, and Blackso will be closing out the European region. Blackso right now extending the timer out on the Shadow Bomb. He's in your bottom right. He drops down. Nate gets taken out by Masato. Frenzy begins to work. Top down. Takes 55 fall damage. Blackso pushes in. Him and Masato in the same box. Masato disengages around the side. Blackso desperately trying to find the shot. Needs everything he can. Top 4. Screaky goes down as Masato finds it. Frenzy continues working from the top down, but Blackso needs the space. No builds left on Frenzy. 47 points for him, 57 for Blackso. This is his chance. Can he get Lestream to the World Cup final? He's looking for it. He finds the first shot. 88. Can he convert? No. Frenzy picks up the elim, but he finds the 30 right after. Needs the elim and the victory royale. 461. But can it be enough? And can he close it out? He's looking for the shots. 49 shield, 85 health, no builds from the low ground player. Frenzy gets cleaned up, 61 for Lestream's Blackso. But will it be enough? Courage, will it be enough?
We will find out, folks. 5 weeks of solo competition have led to this moment in Europe. The queues are done, and now it is time to find out who exactly has made it on through to the Fortnite World Cup Finals, who will take up those final spots from the European region.
I think it's time to take a look.
Here
we
go. Ladies and gentlemen,
wow.
First off, congratulations to Andretta, who throughout the entire day was in that top spot. Crew, Skite, Light, Mongrel has made it on in. Was what everyone was wondering if he was going to do it.
Yep.
People had high expectations. He clutches in the end. Mku, Teak, and who did we just see in that last game?
There you go, man. Blackso, he makes it in for Lestream. That's huge for the French-speaking community because we saw Solary already go through, and Lestream kept getting edged out every week, but now it's Blacksu's time to shine. Really quick, though, Andretta. So you talked about this guy's been on fire all day long.
Yeah.
We actually kind of pulled stats on his previous week qualifiers. For the previous solo weeks, 291th place, 127, 218, 610, and now first. All day long. Went from like 50 viewers on Twitch to like 20,000. Send Andretta some love. All his hard work has truly paid off. These are the 8 that are coming through, Courage.
Congratulations to them. I think there's one more thing we can do. It's time to punch their ticket. Zeke.
I'll start over here.
Start over there.
Boop. There you go.
Andretta made it. Crew made it. Let's hit the middle one. Skite made it.
There you go.
Light. Mongrel, congratulations again, brother. In the middle, Mku, and finally, Teak, and wait.
There you go.
Laksu as well.
There you go.
The 8 players from Europe who will join Muffin and Rona season, as we saw earlier, making it on in. Incredible stuff. Europe was an insane day today, just as we expected. High-level lobbies, tons of people left all the way to that 5th zone. But here's the beauty of it, folks. We've got more action to bring you. We're going to go to a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll catch you up to speed on some of the other regions before we kick off the NA East action.
Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's going to be there, all right? DJ Zeke's going to be there. DJ Sundown's going to be there. Everyone's going to be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right.